Hi team, I hope you are doing great and working on the project that I am sharing in this playlist. Today we are going to understand how can we work upon version controlling of your project or how can we manage the version of our project. For example, we worked on Loanapp. So we created our first Loanapp machine learning application which can predict whether loans should be approved or not approved. But after some time we find that okay, we have to make some changes in the application. We made some changes in the code, right? Or suppose we are working on new set of data, or we changes some algorithm, or any major or minor changes we did. Because of those changes, our new version will be created, which we can say version 2. That means from version 1 we create the version 2, which is updated version. So how can we manage both the version? What I mean, how can we publish this version to the Git or PyPy? That is one thing. Second, once it is published to the Git or PyPy, it can be used by any user. That means user can use the updated version. But after some time, we find that, okay, I have to roll back. That means I want to use the old version. I want to discontinue this version because of some lag or anything. So how can we again roll back to the older version? That's also we need to see. That means at the same time, user is having a freedom to use any version of your project that user wants to use. Like for example, you can use Python 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. It's your choice. Same way, when we are publishing our project, it's user according to the user need or according to the dependencies user is having, user can choose any version. So we'll see a practical example of managing our Loanapp application version through the GitHub. This version control system, that is your Git, helps us to track the change in your project with the time. It helps us to manage different version of your project, roll back to the previous version, as well as collaborate easily with the different participants who are uh, working in developing of your project. So let's see how it can be done. So overall, we are going to use Git this time for managing the different version of our project. So how it will be done? Let's see. First, this is our Git where we publish our project last time. So how do we install it? We install it by using this URL. So once we use this URL, where do we use it? We use it in our command prompt, right? So see, in the command prompt, we had used over here git pip install and the URL we had given. Our project get installed. Once it get installed, that means our Loanapp get installed. The version that is installed is 1.0.0. If I want to check it over here, Python import Loanapp, and then after Loanapp dot version. Okay. So right now my version is 1.0.0. Now we'll make few changes in our project and we'll make it 1.0.1. So for that, I'll go to the location where my project is saved. So first, we'll go to the location where our project actually exists, right? So this is a location where our project is actually existing, right? So what we do, we will not make any change in this actual project file. Rather, we'll create a new folder over here. Let's give it a name, ML project Git. Okay. And in this folder, what I do, I'll clone the project. I'll clone the copy of the project which is there on the GitHub. So for that, I launch CMD. Then we'll give over here what git clone, or you can say, yeah, git clone. And then we'll give the location over here. So let's see. So our project get cloned, and it is cloned in this particular folder. Let's check the folder or directory over here. So now I'll move to this directory cd ml Loanapp. Okay. So before making any change, what we do, we'll attach a tag to it. Now, why do we use tag? Tag basically helps us in locate the files in the Git history. That means even after some time, I have to roll back. I can easily roll back with the help of tags, right? So we are going to make some changes in the current project. Okay. So before we make the change, we'll attach a tag to it so that in future, after making the change, when new version updated, if I want to roll back to the previous version, we can easily roll back. So the current version will just attach a tag, right? So let's see how can we attach a tag to it. So we'll do what git tag a version 1.0.0 because it is version 1.0.0. So we're attaching a tag. and I'll again give it a name. I can just give it a name over here, version 1. Okay. So attach a tag. And after attaching a tag, we'll push this tag to the Git repository. So for that, we will do what? Git push origin version 1.0.0. So this will push the things, right? Now, once it is pushed, I'll show you where we'll go to the Git repository and we'll see over here. As of now, you can't see any tag, but once I refresh it, okay, you can see one tag over here. Okay, this tag is representing that now my project is assigned with a tag. This is very important. The current project we have assigned a tag because we are going to make some update. We are going to make the changes in our project. So before making any change in the project, we need to attach the tag to the current project, right? So now let's see. Once we will go to this thing that is release, here I have to release it. Okay, so I'll create a new release. I'll just select this thing and I'll release it, publish release. So now it's done. Okay, now I can make the change. So let's get back to a project folder where I cloned it, right? So here I cloned it, right? I'll just open it up and I'll make few changes in it. What are the change I'll make? First, I'll go to my Loanapp. Okay, some very minor change I'll do. Let's say in the predict section, instead of generate predictions, I will make it make predictions. Okay, let's say I'll make it make predictions. So that generate prediction I don't want to use. Okay, so my new version will have the function make predictions. Next thing that I'll do, what one more change I'll do. Again, I'll open up one more file which is called version file, right? So version file exists over here. Okay, and in the version file, I'll make the change 1.0.1. I'll save it. One more change I'll do. Let's see what change the name, right? That means in the setup file, I'll change the name of my project. So now this is your setup file. Here I will do the small change. I'll change this thing to a small l. Why? Because I'm just normalizing the name so that all the letters can be in a small letter. It will be important for PyPy repository because I got a notification from PyPy that if your project name will not be in the same small case, all of them are not in a small case, then your module may get discontinued. So that is important for PyPy. Now my project name, all the characters will be in a small character. But the thing, one more thing that we have to consider, our directory, our project directory is what? Having a first letter capital L. So I'll give it a name project name. Okay, project name will be equals to what? Loanapp. And wherever the name is used to allocate the directory, to give the address of the directory, I'll use project name over there, right? So I'll copy this thing. I'll search for the thing where name is used, right? And let's see where it is used. So here, these things I don't have to change. Here I have to change because here I am just putting using the name as an address, right? So now this will be your address. That's fine. Next, I don't need to make any change. Here, name will be what? Loanapp. That L is in a small character. So this is a small change I did. I'll save it. Now I'll get back to the location where I copied or cloned my project file from GitHub. So this is a thing. So what I need to do, first I need to run the setup file so that changes can be effective into this distribution folder, right? So for that, I launch command prompt over here. I'll run over here Python setup.py sdist, and then I'll use what? bdist wheel. So changes will be effective in the distribution file. Once the changes is effective get effective in the distribution file, I will push the files into the staging area. So git add dot. So now my files, updated file moves into the staging area, right? Now we will commit it. So git commit message m, let's say version 1.0.1. Now it is committed. Now once we commit, we commit the changes, we'll push it to the GitHub repository. So for pushing it to the GitHub repository, what we do now, before pushing into the GitHub repository, we need to add a tag to it, right? So what we do, git tag a version 1.0.1. Why are we doing it? So that we can easily roll back, we can go forward, we can go back. Like suppose I am using the current version, I want to use the older version, so I can easily use it. So that's why we're using it. So git tag a version, and here I can give it a message release version 1.0.1. So now I guess I am missing M over here. Now it's fine. Okay. So now it is good. Now I have to push our, now we have to push our development or the changes that we made to the Git repository. So for that we use what, git push origin main. So it will be published to our Git repository. Once it is published, we also need to publish our tag. So for that means we have to push the tag. So for pushing up the tag, we'll do what, git push origin version 1.0.1. So now my tag is also pushed. Now we can go to our repository. Let's go back to repository. Okay. So now I'll refresh it. So once I refreshed, you'll see two tags, right? The first tag was the original version 1.0.0, and this is second tag for version 1.0.1. So once you see over here, once you move to your Git repository, you can see two tags over here. This is your new version, right? Now, if I click here, you can see two tags over here. This is your original one. This is your new one. Now, if I try to install it, so let's try to install. Now, if I will, right now, if I'll check which version is running in my system, let's see Python import Loanapp. Okay, Loanapp dot version. This is my current version. Now what I do, I will install the new one. So for that, what I do, pip install git plus. Okay, and I'll copy the location and I'll copy the path. Let's see which version is getting installed. So it says that it has installed 1.0.1, right? So now if I will run Python import Loanapp, okay, and then I can check the version over here, Loanapp dot double underscore version. Okay, 1.0.1, right? Now if I want to make prediction, what I do, from Loanapp import predict. Okay, if you see the name over here, it is small l, right? Now if I will call this thing, and then I'll make what, predict dot. Now I have to use what, make predictions, right? Like I used earlier. Last time we used generate prediction, but here I made the changes, right? Make predictions. Okay, and here I have to give the data for the prediction. So let me just copy the data and I'll paste it over here. So it is making the prediction. Now let me try to install the older version. So for the older version, what I do, here I use at the rate version 1.0.0. Okay, so I'll install it. So now my older version get installed. With this version, if again I'll try Python import Loanapp. See, now it is showing capital L because the older version was having name as a capital L, right? So import Loanapp. So now I'll just import Loanapp over here, right? So the name will remain same. Last time also we import as a capital L only. If you see, last time also we import as a capital L. That means the module internally is importing like this only. So, uh, but after installation, it was showing a small L, but module will be imported as a capital L only. Okay. So we change the name of our application, right? But the module will be imported over here using Loanapp only. Okay, because that's how we code it. Now here what happened, after installation it is showing capital L and it will be imported over here like this. Now we'll import from Loanapp import ready. Now if I'll use predict dot, let's say predict dot make predictions, it will not work. Okay, because for this guy we have predict dot generate predictions. Okay, working. Now whenever I want to change the version, I can easily change it over here. I want to use version 1.0.1, I can use it. Okay, so you can see how can we roll back to the previous version and how can we use the current version. That is why Git is important for version controlling. The similar feature we'll use through PyPy in the next video, and we will see how can we publish our current version to the PyPy, and thereafter user will have the freedom to use any version of our application. So stay tuned, keep learning, and have a great day ahead. Thank you everyone.